Kila meza nikihesabu hapa najua watu hapo. Kwa hivyo mimi najihisi niko nyumbani. Nataka kuanza kutoa shukrani kwa viongozi wa Mount Kenya Foundation kwa juhudi ambayo wamefanya kuleta sisi pamoja. Hii sasa ni mara ya pili, karibu mara tatu, ambayo wameandaa karamu kama hii, na tukapata fursa ya kuonana na marafiki yetu na ndugu zetu kutoka Mlima Kenya. Mwezi mmoja na kitu iliyopita tulikuwa hapa na viongozi kutoka Mlima Kenya ya Mashariki, na tukasherekea hapa, tukala, tukanyweshwa mpaka tukashiba. Na tena sasa wameamua wakaturudisha tena hapa. Mimi natoa shukrani kubwa sana kwao kufanya haya. So but I'm happy to be among friends here and patriotic Kenyans. Listening to those who have spoken here before me, or say that all of them are people who have got the interest of this country at heart. I'm not going to respond to all the issues that have been raised. Some of them are issues which I've already covered extensively in some of the policy statements that I've issued. As you will have noticed, every Sunday I come up, I take a particular subject, and I put my views about it, and I release it for discussions. So I expect to get reactions from people that when we prepare our final manifesto, all those issues have been discussed and have been agreed on. Let's talk briefly about the mountain. Nilikuwa juzi, I was invited by the governor of Laikipia to go to Laikipia. Before that, I'd been invited by the governor of Nakuru. That's where I went to Nakuru, and that's where I launched the Azimio ya Umoja wa Kenya. And after that, last week we were getting back in Nakuru with him. We had the funeral of a friend of ours. Then again I went to, on Saturday, I was in Elementaita, where I met a group of religious leaders at a conference. They're called the Israeli Churches of Kenya, which includes the Akorino, also Lady Maria, and several other churches. And then from there I flew over the Nyandarua plains and the Happy Valley. The colonists call it the Happy Valley, into Laikipia. And there in Laikipia, we had a good discussion with my friend, the governor of Laikipia, and I was very impressed by the kind of work he's doing in his county. But before I come there, this region here, this is a very unique region of Kenya. And I gave a story when I was there, how the settlers came to our country. That there was the Lord Delamere, who had come on a horseback. He went through the Horn of Africa and then through Somali. He was riding on a horse and came through Mount Kenya. And then he came from there down towards Nairobi, then he passed and went through Nyahururu, then went down to Thompson Falls. He went to Naivasha, Gilgil, Nakuru, Elbagon, Njoro, Molo, up to Eldoret, Kitale, up to Mount Elgon. And was very impressed by what he saw. So when he came back and had discussions with the colonial government, I said that this is a very rich highland which is ripe for large-scale farming. The railway line has been constructed. It was then called the Lunatic Express. But for this railway line to be viable and repay back the investment, you need to have large-scale agriculture so that when the trains come and go to the west, on the way back to the port, they will have things to carry back. The colonial government agreed. Then he told them that he can go back to England and bring settlers who can come and introduce large-scale agriculture. But for him to do that, he said he needed to be assured that anybody he brought here will be given 10,000 acres free and free black laborers. The colonial government agreed. He exacted that agreement. So armed with that agreement, he went back to England to recruit settlers. He had town hall meetings in London, in Manchester, in Birmingham, in Liverpool, telling them that, look, down there, you have a land that is flowing with milk and honey, manna. And anybody who agrees to come will get 10,000 acres free with the black laborers. But at that time, the story about Africa was very negative. Oh, bilharzia, malaria, wild natives. So nobody wanted to come to Africa. So in frustration, he got very few who wanted to come. In frustration, he came back. When he came back, he decided to try down south. So he sailed, went on a ship from Mombasa to Durban. In Durban, he addressed a town hall meeting. From there, he went Port Elizabeth, East London, Cape Town, Kimberley, Joburg. There he found Wazungus who had lived in Africa for generations and who did not fear Africa. Some of them were actually workers or laborers and other fellow whites owned farms. So the prospect of owning their own farm was very appealing. So they quickly agreed. Most of them from South Africa and from what was called Rhodesia, Southern Rhodesia. That's how we ended up with the Kaburus here. When they came, they were given land from Timau, from those other sides on the Kenya East, all the way to Kitale, Mount Elgon, those sides. That is what became known as the White Highlands. That is how the people of all this region were deprived of their land. How they were deprived of their land. So now the Africans were being conscripted to work. There was what they call agreement. You sign an agreement to go and work in those farms. And you'll have to work for at least 6 months. First labor. If you absconded, they will come and look for you right home and arrest you. And you'll be taken to prison. So that is how the people of this region were deprived of their land.